Hello, welcome to Shad Life. I am outside with the Vala. This bike is amazing. I want to do this video to go over the bike a little more, and of course let you hear the airplanes that fly in my neighborhood all the time. So yesterday it was mostly about building the bike, and I didn't get close-up shots or of course I didn't ride it or anything like that. Now I'm in my neighborhood and I'm gonna ride it around a little bit. Mainly there's a big hill just behind that recreation center that's pretty steep, and it's a good hill to test especially e-bikes on. But before I go do that, let's just go over the operations of this bike. So the first thing is powering it on here. So you just basically push that button and it powers on, right? And when it powers on, the drive system is off, so it would just ride like a normal bike, except it would ride like a really heavy normal bike. And it is about 20 degrees out here right now, so bear with me. So over here you have the little controls. Got the plus, the minus, you got the little walk thing. This, I don't have a light hooked up to this bike, and I probably never will have one. I'll just run like a regular style light. But if you did mount a light, you could press and hold that and it would turn the light on and off. But for walking, you can press and hold this and start walking with the bike, and it'll give you a little bit of assist. So like if you're got caught up or stuck on a hill or something like that. And honestly, I haven't even found what this button is for. I should probably figure that out. But anyway, hitting the plus and minus are the ones we really care about, because that's the one that's going to set us into the different modes. So there's green, which is eco. And then this is the next level. Again, we'll be looking at the app in a second. We'll figure out what that is. And then I think this one is something like Trail Plus, maybe, I don't know. And then this of course is turbo. We'll look at the app in a second and then we'll know what all these are. But those are the 4 modes, but these are all customizable through the app. And you can see there's the battery indicator, so it's full battery because I just charged it. And as that goes down, obviously, you know, you'll get a good indicator of how much riding you have left. And then these can do similar things, go through the modes, and then you press and hold to go down. So if for some reason you didn't want to run with the little remote, you can do things this way, right? So there's that, right? Oh, I'll leave it on because we'll take a look at the app here. Okay, here's the app, right? So we've got Santa Cruz, me, and then here's the battery level, 100%. And then there's where you can customize what it gives mileage on the bike, which I just basically rode it down a hill, so it hasn't gotten any miles on it. I will register the bike at some point. You can even navigate, right? Which I'm not going to get into now. And then it looks like statistics will give you all the statistics, right? And then settings. But the main thing we want to look at here is customizing riding modes. So here are the ones. Okay, Tour Plus. Okay, so Eco, Tour Plus, it's a little bit more power, EMTB, and then Turbo. So those are the 4 that are in there. But if you say edit list, you got all these other options. I could use sport instead of EMTB. There's this auto mode, which I'm assuming kind of guesses what you're wanting to do. And then Tour and Tour Plus. And then and an off-leash dog in a place where you're supposed to have your dog on a leash. Okay. So we have all these different modes, and then within each mode you can, oh, that turns it on and off. Within each mode, I don't know where you go, but there's a way to go and customize each mode. Oh, here we go. Yep, so you can customize the assistance. It's in default, the dynamic, and I'll have to see what each one of these acceleration behavior. So I could make it accelerate harder if I wanted, or less if I feel like it's too strong. Max speed, I could limit max speed, but why would I do that? And then max torque. So they all have the same thing, but my assumption is that each default mode is a little weaker as you go down the list, right? So you have some ability to customize it, and I think it's important, these first two, like how hard do you want it to accelerate, or do you want it to just give you assist? And same here, like, so you know, it'll be nice to kind of play around with those and see what they do. But yeah, it is customizable, so that's cool. Now let's take a closer look at the bike. I'm definitely at an angle. Well, it's still springtime, so the sun is still south biased, so my shadow, it's hard to keep my shadow out of it, but I'll try. So we have SRAM GX. We've got these race face wheels. I guess they're called Arc 30 heavy duty. So, you know, when I see heavy duty, that to me means weight, and I'll have to see if I really want that heavy dutiness that it has. We'll take a look at the Maven brakes when I flip the bike around, but we've got, get my shadow out of the way, these are E13 cranks, right? And they've even got the little guards on the end. I bash my cranks up all the time, and I generally don't care. Then we've got the Fox Float X, and looks like a similar shock to what I had on the Canyon, right? And then of course this little adjustment dial, you don't get to adjust it unless you pay or go buy that little part and and put it on there. So this is 4-bar, not the standard, what is it, VPP or whatever that Santa Cruz is known for. Battery is not removable without like taking off the motor and doing a bunch of work. So the battery is in there. It doesn't pop out. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Probably makes it lighter and doesn't, and less rattle and stuff. But in like cold weather, I'm gonna have to bring this bike inside to make sure the battery's not sitting out in the cold, which is fine. And then come up here, we've got a GX shifter. One thing about the shifter is it only goes one click at a time, which is kind of an e-bike thing. I don't know. I know to let off pressure when I go to shift, so that might be one thing I change. We will see. Then it's got, there's one, I guess I don't know this if this is a Santa Cruz brand or not. I know this Burge Tech is the stem, but the stem and bars look pretty decent. Even the stack height feels okay to me, so I don't know. We'll see if I end up going with higher rise bars. That tends to be something that I do. These are Santa Cruz grips, which feel pretty soft and comfy, so good there. And then here's some Maven brake calipers. Good. Let's turn it so the sun is on it. There we go. Here's that stem. Right. One thing that I'm super stoked about with this bike, and I hate it that companies do it, and I'm glad they didn't do it with Santa Cruz, is routing cables through the headset. Stop doing that. If you're a bike company and you see this video, stop routing cables through the headset. Just do this. Knock it off. Okay, back to here. Other Maven. Here's a little controller for power settings. The other grip. Right now we come up here to the Fox 38 fork. Like, I don't know, that just seems like overkill to me for what I plan on doing with this bike, but you know, we will see. Yeah, but another place I could potentially save weight, and then another probably pretty heavy wheel. I like the front tire, it's a trail rated tire, but the rear tire is a gravity rated tire. They're both Magic Marys, right? So that one's going to be a lot heavier. And again, you know, I feel like if I put a trail tire on the rear, or put lighter wheels on this bike, that what that'll do is give it more range because the bike doesn't have to work as hard. So we will see. I will be testing a lot of different things on this bike, which is one reason. Hold on. Oh, okay, I hit something on my GoPro. I thought I wasn't recording. Okay, which is one reason why you want to keep following my channel, because I'll test a bunch of things out. And yeah, let's go flip the bike around and look at the other side. All right, here's the other side of the bike. So here we can get a better look at the Maven calipers. And just riding this bike like a block or a block and a half or whatever, right? These brakes are powerful and they're not even bedded in yet. You can clearly see these rotors are not bedded in, and I'm able to just lock up the rear wheel. So this idea that these are super powerful is absolutely accurate. I don't know, once they get bedded in, I'm like, we'll see. They're gonna be powerful, I'll tell you that. So here we go, Maven brakes on the front. Get a better look at the fork. So there we go. Oh yeah, and then of course probably should talk a little bit about this, the box Performance Line CX motor Gen 5. This is the newest one out. I haven't had previous Bosch ones, so I'm not going to be able to tell you the difference, but I can just talk about this one. This is the charge port. Yeah, could fit in a water bottle here. I probably won't. I might order the range extender. This is a 600 watt-hour battery, so I think you can get a 250 watt-hour range extender, and that's probably what this space will end up being used for, but I don't know yet. It'll completely depend on what ranges I end up getting out of the 600, right? And if I feel like I need that, because it's obviously going to add more weight. Weight on this bike is right around 48 pounds. This is a size small, so yeah, the small is 435 reach, so the same as the Canyon I had last summer. I think it's a 440 chainstay. I'll put it on the screen right here if I'm wrong. And then yeah, I think overall this thing is spec'd really well. This is the S kit, so they have an R kit, the S kit, and then from there you start getting into the SRAM groups, and it's all electronic shifting. So I'm happy with this kit. It's pretty well spec'd. I like SRAM GX. I have that on my fat bike and I absolutely love it. So I know I'm gonna like the drivetrain, and yeah, this bike's gonna be awesome. So my hands are getting cold. I'm gonna put my gloves on. I brought my little chesty mount and just pedal it around a little bit and talk about the bike while I'm riding it. Okay, so I am pedaling it in the eco mode. So this seems like just enough assist to make this bike rideable, because it's really heavy, right? So the bike feels kind of normal to me. Like I have to put in a little bit more effort. We'll do that hill in just a second. I want to ride this around, but as I go up the power modes, geez, we just looked at the app and I already forget what blue was, but but I'm gonna just call them 1, 2, 3, 4 power levels. Anyway, so blue, the second level, and then oops, I accidentally hit to red. Okay, there we go. Now we're in that EMTB, I think this one was called, the purple. And this is like silly. Like, oh my god. Like, it makes me wonder if I'll ever need turbo, right? Maybe in the most extreme condition, but for the sake of it, we will try turbo. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is silly. silly amount of power. I don't even have the seat up where it should be. I also don't have the suspension set up exactly how I need it, but ooh, I got a headwind here, burr. Okay, so that is turbo, which is a lot of power. Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna go back into the blue, which I think was it Trail Plus? I don't remember, but this is a decent amount of assistance here. Like, if I use my gears like I would normally riding the bike, I get plenty of boost here. Like, I'm gonna stay in blue for this first hill climb, and we'll go up this hill. I'm gonna downshift like I normally would, and boom, effortless. Like, this is a steep hill. I don't know how it looks on camera, but it's a steep hill, and that was effortless, and I'm only in the level 2 setting. So we'll go back down. I know you all want to see this hill in turbo mode. Okay, so the actual climb starts right about here at this street, and then when I get to the next intersection, the climb gets steeper. But like, I am putting in, I'm like relaxed pedaling. I'm casually pedaling, and the bike is just charging forward, like no effort. So we'll see what it's like here. Now we get steeper, downshift. There's like no effort. I'm not even breathing heavy. Like, that's silly. That is, like, that hill on a regular bike is a lot of work. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the riding dynamics of the bike. So like doing a manual, doing a bunny hop, you know, how does the bike feel? So let's go ahead and do that. Drop the saddle. So handling wise, feels a little slow, but it's in the low setting. It does have a high setting, which will make this a little poppier, so we'll see. But we're in the low setting. That's what it came set up with. We'll go ahead and try a manual here. Okay, it's a little harder to manual. A lot of effort to get up there. So this would be because of the longer chainstay. The bike's heavier, a little bit longer reach. This right here might be a reason I go with a taller bar at some point. We'll see. I'll try a bunny hop. Oh, that's a lot of bike to bunny hop. Yep. And I don't have the suspension set up for me yet, so we'll have to once I get the suspension set up and I can get that preload and rebound to help me bunny hop, I can it'll probably be a little better. But it's definitely a heavy bike, a lot more effort to throw around. I think this bike's going to be much better at higher speeds. It's not going to be a slow speed maneuverability bike. It'll be a high speed, just, you know, plow through stuff bike. Which will make it fun, and which also might be why, you know, I might just decide to keep the heavier duty components on it. We will see. So there you have it, the Santa Cruz Vala. This bike is going to be fun. Yeah. Now I want to go inside and warm up. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.